Good day, fish tankers. I have kept many fish over the years, but I also still have a bucket list of fish that I haven't kept yet or what I want to keep again. But I thought I'd make a list of 5 fish that I will never keep again. Now, maybe I had something to do with it, maybe I didn't keep them right. Some I just had a bad experience, and some I think are not really suited for aquarium life or just not worth the tremendous effort. But I've also provided a few alternatives that I would rather keep in place of these fish. If you want to save yourself the trouble that I went through, then stick around. At number 1, we've got the common Pleco. They are often sold as algae eaters in pet shops when they are still youngsters like these that you see on the glass. But the bottom line is that they're not that great algae eaters. They eat some, especially when they're young, but they also eat all the other food that your other fish eat, and then some. And then they produce the same amount of waste. So in the end, they are definitely not cleaner fish, and that's not a good reason to buy them. And there are many better options as algae eaters, and that includes the albino common Pleco that you see here. Now, I've had them. I've had a nice one along with my Oscars years and years ago, and it lived for many years, but I won't get one again. As you can see, this one is only starting to grow, and you see the size of it. And here's one that really has put on all the size, and you can see they're growing to really big fish. And that's fine if you can provide the big tanks. I just think there are other fish that provide better value for the layout of big tanks like that, and they are definitely better algae eaters. Guys, please take a moment and smash that like button. I'll greatly appreciate that. And what would I use as an alternative? I will go for these guys that you see here, the bristlenose Pleco. Looks almost the same, more chunky, has got bristles on the nose of males, and you get them in interesting colors like these lemon Plecos. That works out nicely, and they don't grow that big, not nearly the same size, which is a plus as well. Number 2 is the common and the Comet goldfish. These are of course the goldfish with the normal bodies like normal fish. The short finned ones are of course the common goldfish, and these long finned ones are called comets. Now they're very nice fish, they're colorful, they're hardy, and I've kept them many times, especially as a kid. But the thing is, they grow really big, and then they're better suited to a pond like this one here. They don't get as big as koi, and they're much hardier, but they become really nice fish. But they really are great for a pond. If you want to keep them in an aquarium, you're going to need a really big tank, and few people want to keep them properly in a tank. A much better option are these fancy goldfish with their short bodies. They need a lot of filtration and tank size, but in a 4-foot tank you can keep 3 or 4. Now number 3 is the blue boatia. Maybe it was me, maybe I had a bad experience, other people like them. I just had a few of these many years ago, and they were very aggressive. They tormented everything in my tank till I had to take them out. And then in the shop they took out the eyes of a fish that they were in a tank with, so that was a very negative experience. It could be that I kept them wrong. I remember it was only 3 or 4 individuals. I probably should have had a bigger shoal or kept them with much bigger, more robust fish. If you've kept blue boatias or red fin or orange fin boatias as they're sometimes called, please leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what your experience was. Maybe it was just me. I'd rather have the Pakistani loach or the yo-yo loach. They're biggish loaches, but I've never had any trouble with them aggressive wise, or even the zebra loach is a loach that also worked out well for me. Guys, if you find the content useful, please remember to share in your fishy groups. And my favorite remains the clown loaches. Now proceed with caution, because they can grow very big. They can grow into 1-footers, and then you need at least a 5-foot tank, but they take long to get there. Number 4 is the convict cichlid. Now they are aggressive like most cichlids are, but they take it to the next level. They can actually punch above their weight and bully an Oscar. I've had that happen before. And then you can keep them on their own, but they breed like rabbits. They're on a par with guppies, and unlike guppies, you can't find a market for these fish. And then you sit with bunches of them like these baby convicts in the aquarium store. You'd be lucky if you can get fish food for them. So that's the trouble with the convict cichlids. What do you do with the babies? Otherwise they bang everything in your tank around. I'd rather have apistogrammas like my McMaster here, or cacatoides, or even West African dwarf cichlids like a cribensis. I'd rather go for that than a convict cichlid. Number 5 is my number one pet hate, Chinese algae eaters. I don't want these fish anywhere near any of my tanks. They start by eating algae as youngsters, but they very soon grow aggressive and they use their sucker mouths to scrape off slime off the slime coats of other fish and eventually kills them or completely mangles them. Stay away from these. The Siamese algae eater is a much better option. They do grow big, so you need a properly sized tank, but they'll even eat blackbeard algae. Well, that's it from me, guys. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And tell me which fish worked for you. What do you think of these choices? Which did not work for you? Which fish will you never keep again? And as we play out with these angels and pea puffers that people also sometimes have trouble with, please remember to take good care of those domestic denizens of the deep.